Welcome to part 4 in the I Am the Author of My Life mindfulness meditation series, and embracing vulnerability being the key to emotional resilience. We know our emotions are there for a reason, a built-in survival system if you like, but we do not always know what to do with them. Let's face it, being vulnerable has often carried some negative connotations. Walking by the side of people on the journey to building resilience, there have been some common themes that have shown up. Every single person has their own unique way of how vulnerability shows up in their lives. In our meditation today, we learn that the next step towards becoming the author of our lives is in building emotional resilience, and to consciously create a safe and open space in order to acknowledge what feels vulnerable to you. We are now ready to begin reflecting on what has meaning for us in our vulnerability. I'm going to ask you to be present, to keep an open mind and really be curious about what's coming up for you. We build up all of this armour around ourselves, only to protect ourselves from what we're feeling. Here, we're going to find our inner resilience by showing up alongside our own vulnerability as we lean into it to understand it better. Being vulnerable connects us. When someone close to us is being really honest about what's going on with them, you feel closer to them, don't you? Taking in now a long, deep breath and gently closing our eyes. Taking a moment to begin by turning our attention to our breathing. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Breathing in support, courage, strength. Breathing out the feeling of being closed or self-critical or judgmental. Breathing in open-heartedness, joy and love. Let us take a moment now to consider our mantra. My vulnerability gives me strength. Once more. My vulnerability gives me strength. Now, as we're beginning to feel a little more grounded, bring to mind the word vulnerability. Does it have a certain feeling attached to it? A colour, image, or a temperature change in your body? Do you feel warm or cool? Ask yourself for a moment, what does vulnerability mean for you? Do you feel something in your body when you bring vulnerability to your mind, or do you have any thoughts attached to it? Know that in this moment you're being so strong just by showing up and being curious. This is where the magic happens. Now you have an awareness of your vulnerability. You're doing so well. throughout this process you're becoming more emotionally resilient. We know we don't have control about what happens in our lives, but we do have control over how we use our minds to be curious and about what we're thinking and feeling. This process of leaning into our feelings allows us to ebb and flow through our lives in a different way rather than being stuck. It allows us to meet what comes at us with a little more resilience and a little less resistance. We then become more able to connect to those that we love, to trust and understand one another better, leading to better communication, honesty and openness, which ultimately brings in love and connection with ourselves and others, and more fulfilling lives. Now let us let go of the word vulnerability and focus on our mantra. My vulnerability gives me strength. My vulnerability gives me strength. Now, just being with your breath, take your time to focus on your breathing, letting go of any thoughts and sensations, and breathing into any areas which need attention, which may be that sensation you're feeling or that thought you're thinking. Just breathe into those areas and breathing out, letting go of anything that does not serve you now. So focusing on your breath and returning to your mantra if your thoughts go off. Breathing in resilience. Breathing out old habits. Breathing in trust for our vulnerability. Breathing out anything that does not serve us. I'll stay with you now as you breathe, reminding you of your mantra every now and then. My vulnerability gives me strength. 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 Now returning gently to your body, your mantra and your day. Know that you've done so well today and can return to this meditation whenever you need to, And you can bring your mantra into the day if you choose as you go along in all that you do. Thank you for showing up and being curious today. Take good care of you. There is only one of you. This is video 4 of 12 around creativity, changing perceptions, and opening your mind, body and spirit to becoming the author of your life and all that you do. If you'd like to see new videos pop up, please do subscribe and you'll see them when they come up, usually every 2 weeks or sometimes sooner. Thank you.